Okay, this is from the book right here, Prevent and Reverse Obesity by me, Pete Rogers. This is video part 13. We're on page 81 if you're following in the book. This is figure 312, and it's the concept of caloric density. Basically, the lower the caloric density, the faster you lose weight. McDougall said if you really want to lose weight as fast as possible, you can try to eat up to 50% of your calories from vegetables. Vegetables have the lowest caloric density, only 0.1 calorie per gram. That's next to nothing. So you'll be likely to lose weight fast. He said you can't eat more than 50% of your calories from veggies or you'll get sick. Something he called rabbit fever. The next thing in line is like the starches. Starches and also fruits, they're about 1 calorie per gram. Starches are a polymer or glucose wrapped in fiber. Because some people say, well, carbohydrates are 4 calories per gram. That's a pure carbohydrate like sugar. But a starch is tons of fiber. So it's only 1 calorie per gram. That's very low caloric density. So people lose weight on starches. Also, the fastest starches for losing weight will be the ones that are lowest in fat. That's going to be white rice, 1% of calories from fat. Sweet potato, 1% of calories from fat. And regular potatoes, only 1% of calories from fat. You lose weight really fast on that. If you're going to eat a bean, the best bean for losing weight is the lentils because they're only 3% of calories from fat. Black beans are pretty good as well, 4% of calories from fat. So that's good to know. Fruits, they're okay. Fruits are kind of a complex subject because they got fructose in them, which can lead to some fat if you eat tons of them and you don't exercise. But the fruits are 1,000 times better than high fructose corn syrup, with soda pop or something. That's where people tend to get fat when they drink their calories. It's much better to eat your calories. Okay, meat and cheese, you're in the ballpark there of about 4 calories per gram, and simple sugars. Nuts and seeds are much more fat than that. Typical nut and seeds is like 70 to 90% of calories from fat. And the fat in nuts and seeds, it's not magic. If you eat that fat, like Dr. McDougall said, the fat you eat is the fat you wear. Flax is 60% of calories from fat. Soy is about 40% of calories from fat. It's real fat for a bean. Garbanzos are about 13% of calories from fat. Oil's the worst. It's the most high caloric density of anything, 9 calories per gram. It's like liquid fat. It's a terrible food. So if you want to lose weight, minimize your caloric density. Okay. And that's been known for a lot of time. Chef AJ's talked about that. Dr. McDougall's been giving lectures about that for decades and decades. Okay, we'll go to the next picture here. Okay, this is a really valuable picture. As a matter of fact, out of everything I've ever learned, I've been a doctor over 30 years, the most important thing you can know in all of health and all of medicine is that if you feed humans a diet of primarily starch, they become really healthy. That's valuable knowledge. See, a lot of people are impressed by technology. They don't understand most technology is a joke. It's fake. The cure rate for hypertension, diabetes, obesity, coronary artery disease, long-term with a pill, it's like close to 0%. It is 0% for hypertension and for, it's actually 0% for all of them because you have to keep taking the pill. Somebody might say, well, I lost a certain amount of weight this month on this pill. But you got to take that the rest of your life. And all these pills have side effects and they cost money. The diet's free. You got to eat anyways. So anyways, why is starch such a good food? Because it's a polymer glucose wrapped in fiber. So the high amount of fiber stretches the stomach, so you get early satisfaction of hunger, early satiety. Then it goes into the intestinal tract, and the intestinal enzymes have to peel the fiber away from the glucose. So you get the effect of a slow-release energy pill, whereby the glucose is slowly absorbed into the blood, and you maintain a relatively normal, just slightly elevated blood glucose curve a prolonged amount of time. That's what you want. That's what gives you energy. Okay, you don't want simple sugars because you spike your blood glucose rapidly, and then your insulin overcompensates, it drives it down rapidly, and you get rebound hypoglycemia. You're at risk for rebound hypoglycemia. You don't want that. You don't want to eat the fat first because it gets into the skeletal muscle first, causes insulin resistance, and then subsequent glucose or other sugar, especially the glucose, you're going to get high blood glucose level because it'll cause insulin resistance, so you can't get that glucose into the skeletal muscle cell. Other starches, quinoa, oatmeal, whole grains, wheat, rye, barley, all this other stuff, pasta. Oh, here's just showing some more of these curves in a little more detail. So here's the point about if you eat the fat first, this red line, it gets into the skeletal muscle first, causes insulin resistance, and then your blood glucose stays elevated a prolonged amount of time. So that'll decrease your carbohydrate tolerance because the earlier fat causes insulin resistance. the sweets, sweet beverages that are sweetened, they just cause rebound hypoglycemia, have a tendency to do that. The Goldilocks zone, where you stay in a relatively normal, good blood glucose level a prolonged amount of time, comes from eating starches. That's why it's the best food. Okay. And fruits are also great food, but they do have a problem of the fructose potentially can lead to weight gain in somebody who overeats them and doesn't exercise. Okay, we're going to leave it at there for today. I hope you found that helpful.